It's time to test things for 5 straight minutes. That's what it is. It's just gonna be scuffed. Ba-da-ba. Yes, Stream Elements. Primetime with Taff and Phil is now live. Doesn't quite work, does it? Doesn't exactly have the exact same ring to it when you're a person, you know. But we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore that small little detail. I'm just gonna ignore it for now. It's not important. It's not really a big thing. Yeah, it's not. It's just not a big thing, okay? Let's just ignore it for now. Not important. Not a thing. Ugh. I'm gonna wait for like 5 minutes and then I'll get started. Because I'm gonna try to start for 6:30, but for some reason my computer clock is off. It says 6:25. I go to my phone. It says 6:26. Why would that? I still don't understand why every time I go on to Twitch, for some reason, the notification is still an episode from, like, I don't even remember when, forever ago. I'm also going to test one other thing, but it shouldn't, it's not that. That's what I don't get. Because it's not. It's not that. It's not that at all. And I'm also going to test one other thing. Does this work? If I were to, hold on, I'm gonna test something here, and I'm gonna try this. Just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna try something awesome.
I might swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa.
Hold on.
Cecil! I need you, Cecil!
Alright, that does work. Perfect. I just need a spot for it now. I need it to go somewhere where I can just, you know, use it when necessary. Because it's fun. It's a little fun thing I'm gonna pull out every once in a while. It's important to have a soundboard at all times. Three things. Well, 4 things, actually. First thing, rest in peace, Pope Francis. Second thing, happy belated Easter. To anyone who's in chat right now, if you celebrate Easter, I hope you do. I mean, it's a Sunday. It's really not much, really. It's just having, like, food in the middle of the afternoon, which is basically lunch. It's more like dinner. At least that's what most Easters are for me. Thirdly, happy Earth Day. I was about to say Tree Day, but happy Earth Day. And fourth thing is there wasn't. I think I miscounted. There were supposed to be 4 things, but there's not 4 things. There's only 3 things. It has been a while since streaming. I think we streamed not this past Tuesday. I missed this past Tuesday. We have not streamed since, I want to say Sunday. I want to say it's been since that last Sunday since we interviewed Reggie. So it's been a hot minute since we've been available either on YouTube or on Twitch or even on Instagram for a while. I just haven't been around to updating or making clips as of late. But that's why we always get back on the bandwagon. We're not done just yet. We're going to be back. Mostly because Taff's been really busy and I've just been kind of like out of it. But now that changes today. It changes in T-minus 1 minute. It changes in 1 minute. I gotta answer a text and then I'm back on. I'll be ready to kick us off. As one does. As one does, you know. Hold on. Okay, we got that. I'm gonna send someone here a very specific document, and then I will get us kicked off. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-da, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Where the heck are you? Boom, 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 boom. All right. All right. Let's do this. It's 6:30. Gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, gentlemen, Gaties. Is that how that works? No, it'd be Gaties and Lettleman. Gaties and Lettleman. Welcome in. This is episode number 24 of Prime Time with Taff and Phil. As mentioned literally 2 minutes ago, it has been since Sunday. We were on here with Reggie Jones, myself and Taff. As you'll notice, a couple things. Number one, the setup looks way different right now, and that is because we're streaming off my computer and not Taff's. Taff has the blue background, I have the red background. That is an indicator of who is hosting the stream, so now you know. More information there. Second thing, you may notice that Taff is not here. Taff is not here. I am here. I will be here for roughly the hour, maybe a little bit more. We'll see how long I can yap for. I'd like to be able to yap for an hour. Taff is not here, though, at the moment. He is on his schoolwork grind. He is swamped at the end of April with all of his projects and such, which, I mean, y'all can't blame him, but I will. I'll do the blaming around here. He's not here to defend his precious New York Knicks, who lost last night, so I get to rip into them. I get to rip into them. I get to talk NBA playoffs. That's what we're going to be getting into. The draft, NFL draft is in 2 days. I'm going to be previewing that, going through a little bit of, not necessarily a mock, but I'd like to go through what I believe will happen in the draft, what I'd like to have happen in the draft. And that's pretty much the main two things. I might talk a little Nico Yamaleva. I hope I'm saying that right. I should have probably looked it up, but I forgot to, even though I've heard it like 10 times and I still don't know how to say it. I have a lot of water on hand. That's actually not true. I only have one water bottle. I'm probably going to be running back and forth to get more water because I'm going to have to talk a lot. We're talking playoffs. We're talking draft. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be fun for the next hour. I got Taff's song of the day, Talk Dirty by Ren Carter. Never heard it. Never heard it. If you have, great. I'm probably going to have to listen to it at the end of this, but yeah, I'm not going to play right now because I'm not trying to get sued by Ren Carter for copyright reasons. Copyright or trademark reasons. So there you go. But before any of that, I hope you all are wishing a blessed Tuesday. I hope you all had a great Easter. I hope you all had a great Earth Day. And now, with all that out of the way, it's time to get into the NBA playoffs. First off, round one has been exciting. That's the first thing I gotta kick it off with. Round one of the NBA playoffs has been, to me, overall a treat. You've got the first game I remember watching was like Clippers and Nuggets. That was an entertaining game. I like the way both those teams match up against each other. Kawhi Leonard looks rejuvenated. He looks a lot. I think it's the first time really, and probably since I think Kawhi is signed with the Clippers, that I feel people have been actually talking about him. I know there was like some runs the Clippers have been on, but they've just not been able to live up to what I think expectations were when Kawhi signed with them. I know a lot of people have them as a sort of sleeper pick to go by and potentially beat the Thunder. I disagree. Thunder just, absolutely, completely dominated the Grizzlies. They made them look like Yogi Bear. They made them look like the Berenstain Bears. They made them look like Winnie the Pooh. They silenced Ja, and I don't see that changing at all throughout the series. I don't see how it would. And I know what the announcers were saying last night about, or not last night, the other night, about in those kind of games you got to clear your head. It's like, oh, it's a clean slate next game. Yeah, it's pretty clear. There's a difference there. It's pretty clear there's a difference in those two. when you're looking at how the Grizzlies and the Thunder look. And of course, there were the other Western Conference games. Very funny. We got Ash in chat. What's going on, Ash? We got Bo Nix iPhone 6 Betty Crocker cake mix. Lakers at 5. I could, with all respect to King LeBron, that was not, watching what happened to the Timberwolves there was tough to watch. I think a little, and especially for game one where there's a lot of anticipation for LA. I think the problem is in the West when you look at all of the teams from 2 to 8, they all are very similar, and then there's just the Thunder. Like, it's by far, and I think that statement against the Grizzlies with SGA playing so poorly was such a massive statement about, hey, we're still the best in this conference. No matter how packed tightly this conference is, like sardines, we're better. We're better. They're just better. They got SGA. They got Mr. Chet Holmgren. They got Aaron Wiggins, who is already the best Wiggins in the NBA right now. Like how Andrew threw that lead out of the water. Then you got Jalen Williams. You've got Hartenstein. They're just such a packed team. It's unbelievable. Terrible loss for LA. And didn't even play that good. Yeah, he didn't. And yet he's still... This is the one thing that scares me, if you're a Timberwolves fan, if you're, like, rooting for them in the series. You don't taunt Luka, okay? Like, there were clips going around. Let me go see if I can actually... find the... It's like Anthony Edwards. Like, there's a clip of him and Luka. This right here. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Don't poke the bear. You don't poke bears. Nobody wants to poke a bear. Nobody on earth should at all be thinking about poking a bear ever, and then Ant does this. Like, this stuff happens, right? Like, I get it. You're hyped in the moment. Like, you're excited. Like, yeah, dude, we're... Okay, I expected that image to be bigger. Give me one sec. Hold on. But, I mean, you can't be seriously looking at me and saying, you know, if you lose the series, you look like a clown at the end. Like, you're just going to have a nice little afro. You're going to have a colorful afro. You're going to have your clown makeup. And you're going to look like a clown if you could. Everyone acting tough with they up. Exactly. And as much as it pains me as a Suns fan to know that Devin Booker acts tough when he's up, you know, it is what it is. I poke bears, Dylan the villain. Well, you know what? Anthony Edwards is not Dylan the villain. He's Ant-Man. And respectfully, as cool as it is to have a nickname at the NBA level, of all of the superheroes and Marvel and all the DC comics, whatever, Ant-Man? Like, if you watch any of the movies, Ant-Man's kind of, in himself, like a jokester. And even when he gets big, he gets big for like 3 minutes, and then he's conked out. He's done. He's ready to take a nap. It's too much energy. Humans were never meant to be giant, big as elephants. They just don't have they don't got the energy. They just don't. They get exhausted. It's just too much. It's too much on the human brain to be that massive. And that's what it is, you know. I mean, you got all these things and it doesn't work. Ant-Man catching strays. I'll tell you right now, I liked Ant-Man 1. Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, bad movie. Just bad. I didn't think it was good. It was just a bunch of filler. Of all Marvel movies, I think that one has so much filler and wasted time. Because if they just, as a comms major, you have people who talk to each other, that's all they needed to do. That movie could have been 10 minutes. That movie could have been like a side special. It did not need to be made. And it's not like these people are like, oh man, like they got so much beef they can't talk to each other. Clearly they can, because they did it at the end of the movie. And then Ant-Man 3 just didn't, it was Star Wars. Quantumania was Star Wars. That was it. Oh, it was cool watching him beat up the Falcon that one time, but like outside of that, I don't know. To the Ant-Man himself, in terms of Anthony Edwards, very good player. And the crazy thing is, you were saying earlier about how Anthony Edwards didn't play well. I felt like a lot of superstars didn't play well in the first round, or at least in game ones. Like, SGA, I felt had probably the worst game of his season, and the Thunder absolutely put the Grizzlies on a smoke rack. Like, were having bare ribs, and I don't understand how that happens. I just don't. Like, I get it, Memphis fired their coach, ridiculous. Then Jason Tatum doesn't play well for the Celtics. Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, yeah, we're the real Boston Celtics. We're just gonna take care of the Magic, no big deal. And it's happening a lot with these like superstars, and it's just those are like really well built overall rosters. You have very talented players on like every single front, but the fact that the best player doesn't play well and yet they still absolutely whoop butt is absurd. It's crazy. It just doesn't make sense. So far, it's been exciting. I think tonight there are 3 playoff games. One kicks off 7. I don't know what the order is. I know obviously the Lakers and the Wolves are going to play late, but it is 7 o'clock. Pacers Bucks for game 2, and then you've got game 2 between the Thunder and the Grizzlies. I expect that game to be almost not identical because that's a lot to drop. I think the Grizzlies will keep it closer, but I still expect the Thunder to win game 2. And then you've got Lakers Wolves. And then to be honest, if the Lakers lose game 2, then I would say wrap. I don't think they do. I think they come out and they play well and they'll win game 2. But if Minnesota beats the Lakers, that's a tough pill to swallow if you're Los Angeles. And I think a lot of what happened in LA too is they just didn't. I think a lot of people banked that their defense was going to play as well the whole playoff run. No. Lucas was never a good defender, and LeBron is 40. He can't play great defense every night. And after losing AD in the trade, there's not particular defense. I still think they win the trade no matter how the series goes, but right now they have as many playoff wins right now as the Mavs do. Not even included playing, so like that's tough. But there's a lot of good series. And the other series, I'll touch on it briefly a little bit. Bucks, Pacers. Game 1 is... I always doubt Indiana. I think it's just a thing with any, like, sports teams in that region. They just, like, in that... Not... Like, when I think Midwest, and I don't know what people think when they think Midwest, but I think Midwest, I think you gotta go all the way to, like, Texas for it to be Midwest. I don't really count, for some reason, like, Ohio and Indiana and Illinois. I just don't count that. It's like just middle. Like I don't. It's more like just mid. Not like mid isn't bad. Well, in some cases mid isn't just mid, but like middle of the region, it's not great. And it's just usually not great, and especially Indiana. I've always kind of written them off. I still do. I think, and then after game 1, they just kind of look better than the Bucks, like on every level. Dame's supposed to be back from his blood clot, which is good news for Milwaukee. But I don't know. Indiana feels way more like a complete roster. I was talking about this earlier, not like with anybody, just like thinking in my head. It's, if you have a friend, I have a friend like this. They love reorganizing room. They're like a big interior design major. They reorganize rooms like every few months and try to take advantage of all the space that's there and all the furniture that they have. And to be honest, you know, it's like, it's cool. And that's what's being done in Indiana. Like, almost every single player fits exactly where they need to. Now, it's not like they're an air fryer, which is like air fryer in terms of a piece of something to have in your home is just elite to have. But like, you know, like your couch or your coffee table or like your little ottoman where you're placing it. Right, everything is placed exactly in a spot that makes sense. This is where it needs to be placed. This is where it's gonna go. Right, it's not like it's wasting space. Like with players like Miles Turner and Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton, everybody there serves some form of a purpose. It's no wasted space. Everybody in Indiana is getting used in some way. Now they may not be, you know, like a Wemby or an SGA or a Joker or whoever, but they all do. What do you want? Shut Shut the door open. Cat walks in. Orchard, come on. This is insane. They know how to open these doors. They know. See, I don't know if you can see, but it's like it's a circle. Can you not? Can you not? Yeah, you can knock too. You're not gonna close the door, are you? I know you. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna close that. Oh my gosh. Alright. That happened. Alright. Cat bursts in. Oh. I don't know how they do it, man. It's evil. I don't even know if I need to be charging this. Anyway. I completely lost my train of thought. But the same, everybody there has a purpose in Indiana. You've got everybody filling a role. And with teams like Milwaukee, they're just... It's not there are people that are doing nothing and not being important, but you need people to be doing things. You can't just have people sitting around wasting time. You need to be doing something. The fact that it feels like they're not doing anything is bad. It's not good. It's bad. Anyway. The big kahuna, though. The big kahuna of, to me, the NBA playoffs. Okay? I think, so far, for me, it's a very exciting series because this is the series of New York and Detroit. As you may or may not know, I'm not a Knicks hater, but I'm a Knicks rage baiter. I'm a Knicks rage baiter. I just love it. I love watching the Knicks kind of not be what they're supposed to be, right? Because Taff's a Knicks fan, it's fun. It's all in good fun. But in reality, watching Detroit win Game 2, which honestly, I thought they were going to win Game 1. I think a lot of us did. Until, of course, New York went on a crazy 21-point run, saved Game 1, was able to snatch it back, and then lose Game 2 in basically the exact same way, just that they lost Game 1. They just didn't have their big run, which I don't think you can expect every single night, no matter what your roster is. I think this is going to be, the series with the most on the line for New York. Because I think, even if when I look at those middling seeds, right, I don't expect the 1 or the 2 seed. Well, I guess Houston might lose. Houston might lose as a 2 seed, but they're still a young core. If they lose to Golden State, a more experienced team, I don't think they get the hammer dropped on them. I don't think many people see them as a strong 2 seed as it is. And then, of course, I think Boston's going to beat Orlando. I think Cleveland's going to beat Miami. That makes sense. Thunder are beating the Grizzlies. And then there's the 4, 5s, and the 3s and the 6s. Of the 4 and the 5s or the 3s and the 6s that, to me, are under the most pressure right now, there's still a couple games to go if we're going to include all, 2 games. But so far, it feels like New York is under intense pressure to win this series, to me. Based on every way I've heard them hyped up over the offseason, based on what went on in the regular season for them, they were, at their core, they were supposed to be competing with Boston and Cleveland to win the East, right? And they're the 3 seed, so they should be right there. The problem is, when competing against the 3 best teams, the Thunder, the Celtics, the Cavs, they don't match up. They don't look like they match up. They don't look like they're there with those teams, right? That's number 1. And now number 2, think of everything they did this offseason. This was, compared to last year, this is a very different Knicks team. They originally had the Nova Knicks. When they traded for Mikal Bridges, we're going to be the Villanova Knicks. Nova Knicks. Nova Knicks fever. I'm sure there were shirts made and everything. There were probably shirts made, hats made. People probably got tats in New York for the Nova Knicks. And then they trade DiVincenzo and Julius Randle in the package for Cat, which I would still say is a good move. I think it's a good move that they made to go out and get Karl-Anthony Towns and add him. And again, they were strengthening a position that was weak as it was. It was a weaker position that they need to upgrade. They didn't know when Mitchell Robinson's timetable was, and it ended up being longer than it was supposed to be. So it was the right move. But now they're in this series with Detroit. who is another team now that matches up really well with them. They went 3-1 against them in the regular season. The Pistons match up well with the Knicks. Just a true statement. And now they're tied 1 apiece. They're tied 1 apiece after a Game 2 loss in MSG. And when you think about what the Knicks did in the offseason, and are supposed to be, who the teams they're supposed to be up there with. They're supposed to be up there with Boston and Cleveland and OKC. And they're not. They're not up there. They're not up there with those teams. They're not as talented. They don't feel as strong. They don't feel like they could dominate games as consistently. They don't, and even then, it's not like their roster's bad. I mean, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, McBride, Mitchell Robinson. You don't have it's not a bad roster. That's a good set of players. And to now be in a position where you are now look like this is going to be a 6-7 game series. This is going to be a tight series and a team that matches up with you really well in Detroit. If now Detroit beats you, you don't win a series this season, after all the moves you made to be a contender, it's a massive question mark for their offseason as to where they go with Thibodeau, as to where they go with most of their players. Are they going to go make another splash move? Are they going to try to go after someone who might be disgruntled like a Devin Booker, or disgruntled like... Actually, I don't know really any other disgruntled star. I guess I assume it's so bad in Phoenix that he just wants out. But who are they going to go after to make that team better? Or make that team more competitive? They're going to have to move somebody. And I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be anybody. That being said, it's still a long series. There's no guarantee they lose to Detroit. But after 2 games, from what I've seen, I feel a little bit more confident in Detroit's defense through 2 games than I do in the Knicks to be able to go on these long stretches and be scoring, because they're just actively not playing well right now. That series is going to be exciting, though. I think it's going to be a photo finish. I think that one's the most exciting for me in terms of all the series. Underrated series actually has been so far Clippers-Nuggets. They're also knotted up 1 apiece. That one's interesting. I didn't expect them to match up as well. I wasn't super honed in on how good the Clippers have closed out the regular season. They did, I think, finish... I saw 18-2, something absurd. So they were on a very good run to be able to get to the 5 seed and play Denver. I actually like the Clippers right now in the rest of that series, based on what I saw in even Game 1, and then for what I was able to watch in Game 2 last night. I ended up getting tired. I was pretty tired from the drive back from Easter, so I was not able to stay awake to close out that series. But, as I was saying earlier, Kawhi looks healthy. Kawhi looks good. Kawhi looks strong. And for the first time since Toronto, he looks like he's ready to ball. He's just going to keep his head down as he always does and ball, but he looks healthier than I've seen him in a long time. And with that, I mean, he's an incredible player, just to see what he's able to do against Joker and Denver. And the thing is with Kawhi, I think, and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers in general, I don't think Kawhi needs to dominate the game necessarily for him to win every time. Whereas, if you're Denver and Joker has one bad game, there's no one else in that roster who can make up that production, at all. No one close. Whereas, at least with the Clippers, they have a little compensation with someone like James Harden, who can still get some points, or like James Harden or Norman Powell. And Zubac as well also matches up really well with Joker. So seeing all those little combinations of plays against each other, I feel works overall. I would say more in the Clippers' favor than the Nuggets does. That's what I would be looking at personally. And then there was the other. I mean, that's mostly. I mean, so far the NBA playoffs have been quite the treat, I would say. And then the last one, I was actually going to check this real quick, so I'm going to actually do that right now. I'm actually going to look up what the Lakers and Timberwolves stats, because that game was also late, so I was not able to catch that the last time. Yeah, but this was not a good game overall from them. Is it going to load? Of course not. Why? Because the game hates me? Yay! Ha ha ha. like, I mean, jeez. I mean, Luka did drop 37, but it just was not... I mean, they had the lead and then never really let go. Gosh, man. It's just... Box what I was looking for. What did Anthony Edwards go? Yikes. Ew. Well, 4 of 9 for 3-pointer. Like, that's what I'm mostly looking at, though. Being able to pop up that many threes. Not a bad game overall, but yeah, still, like, nobody... Yeesh. Yeah, Luka had to do all the scoring. I still think that's going to continue throughout the series. Like, I wouldn't write off the Lakers at all. But for them to... Oh, they got no bench help either. Ooh, yeah, they'll probably do it. Yeah, but like Naz Reid. Look at Naz Reid go. Okay. Okay, Naz. I see you. Yeah, but like I think the... Gosh, yeah, they have like no bench. They don't really have a real bench, man. Alex Lynn. It's cute. It's very cute. Nah, but they don't. They're going to be in trouble. I think they're... Joe Ingles is... I didn't even know that. I didn't even know Joe's on the Timberwolves. The more you know. I completely forgot. But this... I mean, you look at this matchup. I think as long as Luka's scoring, the Lakers will be in it, but... LeBron's old, dude. Just doesn't have the same amount of defensive play in him anymore. At least not at this point. Like, it's hard to expect this team to be able to play defense every single night with LeBron being 40 and Luka not being able to actually play defense. I mean, it's reality. It's a reality that it doesn't get changed. It's tough. It's tough, but that's what's going to happen. That's mostly been the NBA playoffs, though, the first round. And also, okay, one other thing. It was just the Knicks-Pistons game. And I love Mikal, former Sun. But my God, I can't believe how many times I've seen Mikal Bridges, on just the Knicks alone, throw up a shot, and it's just an absolute brick. Like, almost every time I see him shooting, I'm like, wow, it's going to be a brick. Like, in an important possession, it's always a brick. He's like one of the least clutch players right now in the NBA. And when you look at actually Detroit, dude, I like Cade. Cade is nice. Cade is nice with it. If I had to pick a player that was not on my team to get a jersey from, I might get a Cunningham jersey. I don't know. I just like the young guys. If I were getting into the NBA right now, like if I had never been in the NBA, I would be excited about Detroit. And I say that as like coming from New York. I am a New York rage baiter like a lot of the time. Like it's just, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it always is for me. And it does not change. And it will not change. It won't change. I'll always be rage baiting. Whether it's the Jets, Giants, Rangers, Yankees, Mets, Nets, Knicks. Not really so much the Bills. I don't really rage bait myself with the Bills. Because I feel like that happens enough already. I feel like I don't need to cover that base. I mean, granted, I guess the Giants base gets covered a lot. So does the Jets, but come on, isn't it just fun? It's fun to troll New York sports. It just is. It's the best. It's the best, as I would say. I would say it's the best, personally. My goodness. And, shoot, I guess I didn't really give predictions. Because I wanted to do this last week so we could get playoff, predictions. But you know what, here. I'm going to go through the rest of... Here's what I will do. Oh, I needed to... Dang it, I hate when it does that. I just wanted to... Okay. NBA playoff bracket. Bop! Give me this. And, yeah. Let's go full screen to that. That's still terrible. Why is that still bad? Why does it look bad? It just looks so... No. Wrong. What the... What is this? When was this? Was this what it originally was? Wow, that's freaky. Okay, wow, that's a very freaky looking bracket. That's insane. That's still not right. Huh? It's 2020. Okay, let me Google. You gotta do this right. You're asking me. I say, hey, I want playoff bracket. Your third option in Google Images to give me the one from 2020. For who? For what? Why would anyone? First of all, why would that be the first thing I'd be thinking of? Why is this like? Yeah, I wanna map it all out right now. 2020. Let's go. Freaks, man. Like literally, actually, the first. I think this is actually okay. This one's actually correct. So I'm gonna. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's better. That's somewhat better. All right. I mean, obviously we know who won each one, but you know at this point it doesn't matter. Let's see. So Thunder, Grizzlies. I mean, I think that's pretty clear how I feel about that. That's just gonna be a Thunder dominate. Cavs dominate the Heat. I think that's I think that one's less likely to be a sweep, just out of my respect for Spoelstra. But I got no respect for Memphis right now. Absolutely none. You can't go in. You can't look me in the face and tell me Memphis even wants to go out and play the Thunder again. Like, imagine that happens again. Because I think it will. I think they'll get blown out again at some point in the series. It's just... Am I going to show the games? Oh, the games start just now. 7? Probably... I don't know. Lamar Boston won. I don't know, man. Probably not, because I would hate to have to deal with the NBA and their marketing crap. They're gonna rip it straight down for me. I'm definitely gonna be watching the games. I'm just giving my thoughts on what happened this past weekend. Or this past week, rather. Weekend. It was this past weekend. But, I mean, dude, if you need a place to watch them, just go like Stream East, Buff Stream. It's all there. It's pretty easy to just grab them, yoink them off. I gotta get off in the next, probably 30-35 minutes. But it's good to have you here, man. Good to have you here on stream. I'm not showing them. There's a bunch of spots where you can go get them. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy stuff. That being said, do I even want to watch the Thunder rip apart the Grizzlies again? I will. I will for fun. And then Nuggets, Clippers was the other one. I think the Clippers actually win that series. Like, after what I saw in Game 2. And even in Game 1, they had control of that game for most of it. It just happened that they had enough... Nuggets had enough supporting cast help, but I don't think they get that consistently the rest of the series. It's probably just going to be, I think, Clippers win in 7, but... you know what? No, I'm going to say 6. I think they win 3 of the next 4. And they go on and beat Denver. Lakers, Timberwolves. Lakers and Wolves. I really don't like the fact the Lakers lost Game 1 at this point. But I think they still win. No. I'm gonna take it back. I think the Lakers still find a way to pull it out just because I think it'd be hilarious to see the end of the series and the Game 1 taunt by Ant. I think in some sense Luka's not going to stop scoring, and they'll just win. Warriors Rockets is the next one. Yeah, Warriors. That first game was the only one I haven't talked about. Rockets were bad. I felt. Am I crazy? Am I crazy that I thought the Rockets were bad? Like, I don't know. I thought the Rockets would win. Like, I know a lot of people were hyping up Golden State and saying they were going to win, but then when Golden State fell to the 7th seed, and then Golden State just kind of is old in general, the fact that they would have any shot in this at all just is what I'm going to call bogus. So I'm going to say Golden State. Technically, I have an advantage because they won a game, but I mean, at this point, yeah. Indiana, Milwaukee. Indiana. After Game 1, am I really going to pick Milwaukee? No. Nope. Even with Dame coming back, it's like, why would I pick that? Knicks, Pistons. Detroit beats the Knicks. Celtics move on. They face the Magic. Then it would be Thunder, Clippers, Thunder. Then I have Lakers, Warriors. I'll roll Lakers. Although, to be honest, the more I say Lakers, the more I feel like Or they're just going to lose to Minnesota. Because they lose to Minnesota tonight, it's like gross and embarrassing and sad. If that's the way LeBron goes out, it's crazy. It's crazy sad. Cavs, Heat. Oh, we already said that. No. It'd be Cavs, Pacers. Pacers don't have enough. They don't have enough firepower to get by Cleveland. And then Boston downs Detroit, ends their run. And then it's probably just... I still think it's just Boston and OKC in the finals. And I think just OKC has it by a touch. Because, I mean, you watch the first round. It's pretty clear that it's OKC and Boston. Like, it's not close. It's pretty clear that those are the two front runners. Like, they dominated their game ones, and they didn't even need their superstar to do basically anything. So it's just OKC Boston finals. I mean, the major upside I think would be like Pistons beating the Knicks, and then maybe the Timberwolves getting the Lakers, and then outside of that is like, I think that's how it ends. Although I will say, between the Lakers, Timberwolves, Rockets, and Warriors, whoever wins out of that group of 4 does take OKC to a Game 7. They'll definitely take OKC to a Game 7, just because I think OKC is still very young. But Thunder feel in control for the most part, I would say. And with that being said, those are the games. I think one game just kicked off. I think I'll have that on background, actually. You know what? I'll put a little bit of... Hey, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's not do that right now. Let's not do that. I do not need to get in trouble for some garbage. But that being said... Hey, you know what? Now I am going to do it. I'm going to do it somewhere else, though. I'll have the game up on my end. And that would be... How do you manage this? How do you manage this every time? You find a way.
It'll be Lopez to jump it up. And it'll be Zach Zarba, the veteran crew chief.
Boop. Gonna mute that just so I don't have the audio. Okay. Actually, does it play if I do this right now? Hold on. We're about to find something out. I'm about to find something out right now. Oh, it does. Wow. Alright, well, we're not going to chance that. That's not something I'm going to chance. I do not need YouTube police on my butt. And as for you, I don't know what you're doing here. Again. Jeez, that cat really just loves walking in on me. How about that? It just loves doing its own thing. Indiana starting. They're already up 3 on Milwaukee. I am closing this door. You're going to see what happens if I try to lock it, and that cat is still going to find a way to open the door. Like every time. It's just, I don't know how. Yeah, again, like, oh my gosh, dude. You know, I guess it's early. You know, everyone keeps telling me, you know, you watch a game, it's early, man. Guys, it's early. You know, so what if Milwaukee's already down 5? Dude, Milwaukee's just going to get fried and spit roasted. They're going to get hunted down. And it's just going to be tragic to know that, it's just tragic. While these are going on, though, while Indiana and Milwaukee's going on, I have talked for already 40 minutes about NBA. I want to talk the NFL draft while we watch football. Well, I watch basketball. I don't know. If you're watching basketball, then you're not good for you. But I do want to talk NFL a little bit. The big thing and the big question for me as a resident Pittsburgh Steelers fan is, I swear to God, if we draft a quarterback and sign Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to blow my skull in. I'm going to cave it in. It's going to get caved. 2 reasons. 1, it's so unnecessary to grab Aaron right now. And 2, no, that's it. Like, there's nothing else. There's no real necessary outside of that. It's done. Now, the question is, a lot of people keep telling me and like every draft, it turns into what quarterbacks are going to be available. And I'll tell you right now, it looks like at max, we're looking at 4 first-rounders. Which I think is actually going to be the case. I think it will be likely that 4 first-round quarterbacks get taken just because quarterback is generally a commodity that people who don't have a quarterback want to have. It's Cam Ward, who's pretty obviously going number 1 in Tennessee. It's Shedeur Sanders, who, as far as I'm concerned, could go anywhere from like top 5 to out of the first round entirely, which I have never seen from a quarterback outside of maybe Lamar, but I don't even know if Lamar was a guaranteed first round pick. I know he slid to 32, but a lot of people had him wanting to be a wide receiver. Bunch of idiots. Then you got number 3, Jackson Dart, who to me just screams like a bust. I don't know, like screams Zach Wilson-esque or Josh Rosen-esque, like this prospect that gets completely elevated off of not really enough. Like a lot of ability of being able to perceive the game, but didn't really play at like one of the bigger schools, didn't really have a whole lot of big competition. To me, he's a bust. And then there's Jalen Milroe, who's more of like the project quarterback that looks kind of like one of the great quarterbacks that's already in the NFL, that being like a Lamar Jackson or, literally just Lamar Jackson. People want Jalen Milroe because he's like Lamar Jackson. Like, that's the reality. And of those 4, if I'm Pittsburgh, and I've seen this a lot from like Steelers fan pages, if Shedeur Sanders falls by the Saints pick, which I believe is 9th, that is entertaining for me. That'll be entertainment. That'll be exciting. That's what I want. But no guarantees. No guarantees of that whatsoever. Do I want it to happen? Yes. Is it going to happen? No. It's not. Oh, Hey, pal, your gaming is highly top-notch, keeping me entertained. Kindly add me on Discord. David101. David, look, brother, you're a bot. Respect, man. Real respect. But you are just a bot. That is so cute. Look at you. Aww. You know what? I appreciate it, though. Thank you. I love that my gaming is highly top-notch, and it looks like I have a gaming setup, even though that is just a still Google Slides presentation slideshow. That's awesome. That is so cool. They're everywhere, man. You see all that. I will say, I have fallen for a bot or two back in the day, but I needed to be like a teenager. Sorry, dude. I've been botted already. You should have gotten me 10 years ago. You were so close. You're just probably like a 1 number off, but it's fine. You keep trying. You'll get someone, I'm sure. Oh my God! Oh my God! Pascal Siakam with a jab. Indiana. One of my fun. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about y'all. One of the funniest things that I see when it comes into watching the NBA is watching the NBA and this like freak athlete just dunks and the camera cuts to these like 2 scrawny white boys in jerseys and they're just going like, what's up, man? I don't know. It's funny to me. Not like insulting them because, they're like, oh, they're goofy white boys, but like, they're goofy white boys. It's funny. It's funny looking at them just look at the camera not knowing what to do. They've never had a camera in their face. Probably like first NBA game, just like it gets me going. But like again, dude, I'm watching Indiana walk right now. Milwaukee's getting absolutely spit roasted. Just spit roasted. Like what do you want from me? You want something from me? That's what it is. Milwaukee's gonna get spit roasted. End of story. I wouldn't doubt if they get swept. Like it's gonna be the one sweep that nobody predicts, and that's that one. Indiana got swept last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're gonna sweep in round 1 this year. Why? Because I just said so. But back to the NFL, it's just there is no good. Like there's one really good prospect. It's Cam Ward. Shedeur is also probably up there, but people for some reason want him to slide because of they think the Sanders name is just the big thing that's getting him there. He was good at Colorado. I'm not going to sit here and act like he wasn't. He was good. He's just not him. He's not like a Cam Ward-esque. And that's what it is. In fact, let me Let me look at these. Let me go in. Oh gosh, where's my mouse? It's everywhere. Let me go look at like NFL mock draft 2025. Like I don't know. Like I see all these like. Can I make a mock? Let's do that. Let's make a mock draft right now. NFL make mock draft 2025. Boom, done. Let me make one. Come on. Oh, PFF. Is this? Do I have to pay for this? I don't want to pay for this. Nope. Get on my face. I'm broke. I want to pay. Oh, what? Oh, offer trade. Oh, okay. This is super easy though. Never mind. Can I make this bigger? Make this bigger. Yeah. All right. What? Forced trade? No, we can't make trade. So the number 1 pick. This isn't like on time, right? Okay, good. Number 1 pick. I mean, is it not Ward? Like, it feels pretty obvious that it's Cam Ward, right? So like, this is assuming no trades, but there will be trades. It's like you make a mock draft, but you don't expect it. Yeah, like this is gonna be the first. Like, boom. Cam Ward gets what? Oh, what? You pick 1? That's dumb. Why can't you just pick all the teams? That doesn't make any sense. No, I don't want to do that. No. Reload. Teams listed, but yeah, but how do I? Oh, you can only pick 1 team. Yeah, that's absurd. A little absurd. A little absurd, wouldn't you say? All right, never mind. Forget this. Let's see what ESPN has to say. If it'll load. Yay, haha. Alright. So yeah, number 1 pick is Cam. Also, can I do this so it's like I only... Cause I don't want to see... I only want to see like... Yeah, come on! Aha. Okay, boom, perfect. Look at that, we did it. We're geniuses. Actually, no, we could be even more geniuses. Number 1 pick, Cam Ward. Okay, fairly obvious. I mean, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Because Tennessee needs quarterback. Nobody wants to be Levis. I don't think even you know what? Some people do, but mostly just for more memes. Honestly, if Cam doesn't play yet, we could still get more Will Levis memes. So that's the obvious number 1 pick. Number 2, Travis Hunter. Okay, so these are guys who just did a mock draft. All right, fair. I mean, understandable. Understandable, but I don't get why there's this, like, feeling that Cleveland won't take a quarterback. Like, everyone is now... It used to be Shadur's going to go 2 to Cleveland, and then now he's not. Which makes me feel like, oh, we had conversations with Cleveland. Like, but did you... But did you actually have conversations with Cleveland? And to me, like... That sounds like cap. All right, Indiana's up 19-12 now. Well, yeah. Jesus. I mean, does it really feel that way? No, it doesn't. I get Travis Hunter's really good in that spot. To me, I still don't know why Cleveland wouldn't want to take a quarterback. Because your quarterback room is, respectfully, trash. It's Joe Flacco, it's Kenny Pickett, and it's... Deshaun Watson. I almost forgot his name. Jeez. It's such a bad quarterback room. Why would you not at least consider, I don't know why they wouldn't consider the QB. I wouldn't be shocked if they still took Shador. And it's all like a smoke screen. All right, number 3. Abdul Carter. Okay, weak pick, but weak pick and also not super necessary. I mean, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau... It's not the worst pick. I mean, Penn State pass rushers have shown to be good. Micah Parsons, example A. But it's like the reason why I don't get this is because it's like the one thing New York might not actually need. They need everything else. But they don't like, apparently they're saying they don't like Shador as a top 3 pick. Dude, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think it does. If you need a quarterback, like, what are you not doing taking him? Maybe trade back. I mean, I assume they didn't do trade backs in this, but I know there's been reports now that Cleveland and New York are both saying, yeah, we might move up back from our top 3 pick. Like, that would make sense. Like, totally I could see that happening. But are they? Alright, let's see who goes 4. Will Campbell. Okay. This would either be Will Campbell or if he's there, Travis Hunter. So this is probably this is a good pick. But again, I guess their offensive line was terrible. Their offensive line was trash last year. So this is not a bad pick. But I still think if I'm New England, the fact that my number 1 receiver is going to be Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL, and then my number 2 receiver is who? Jay Polk? Jalen Polk was actual booty cheek. Actual booty cheek. Like, I don't know. There have been few receivers drafted in, like, that positional group area that were worse starting, like, year 1. I mean, there have been worse, but still, it's bad. Like, it's not good. But Will Campbell, I could totally see. Pick 5 is Jacksonville, right? Is this GT? They've taken GT? Yeah, I figured. This, I don't hate. I mean, GT's incredible. The last time the Jaguars took a running back this high, wasn't the 5th, but it was like the 4th, was Leonard Fournette. So, and say what you will, Jacksonville made the AFC Championship game that year. But it's going to be interesting. You're drafting G&T into a running back room with ETN and Bigsby. So you basically are admitting that, yeah, we're just going to take best player available. I mean, they even say it right here that they've already got a bunch of problems offensively and defensively. So why would you not just... I don't know. G&T's still a good pick, though. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not, but... Man... It feels so weird taking a RB top 5. I mean, think about the last 10 years. The most you get out of RB is like 5 great years. And then they flatten out. Gurley, Zeke, the Fournette even. Fournette was like had like his best year in 2019 and then went to be like a complimentary role piece in Tampa. It's just not enough. To go number 5, I get it. G&T's, you could argue, he's like had a better college year, but man, I mean, I guess any help. I guess if you're a team like the Jaguars, it's just there's no wrong pick because you literally need help anyway. The only wrong pick might be actually, believe it or not, quarterback, and even that, you could make a half-assed case that it's not terrible. I mean, it is. It's terrible, but you know, it's not the worst thing. All right, what was 6? Who went 6? Armand Membu, the Missouri tackle. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I get it. You need help protecting, but I guess that's not a bad pick. If G&T was here, that would be the pick. That's who I thought they might go. Like, I thought the Raiders would go G&T because I think they needed a lot more than Jacksonville. Like, they would need G&T because their running back room is more atrocious. But you know, getting a tackle is not bad. They still have Colton Miller, right? They have Colton Miller on the left, so you pressure. Yeah, okay. It's all right. I don't hate it. I think 7th pick is Jets. See, because that's the thing. I think Jets take a lineman, but they'd be getting the 3rd. You think they'd be getting the number 3 lineman? Ba-da-ba-ba. Yeah, they did. Kelvin Banks out of Texas. Dang. So do they not think there's a wide receiver top 10 just in ESPN's bracket? Tyler Warren. You guys are... No. Guys. They said Tyler Warren will be considered. No. Tyler Warren, I don't think, should be a top 10 pick for any of these teams. I love him as a tight end, but no. Look at the tight end that... You know the tight end that went top 10 was Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is an unbelievable great tight end. Don't get me wrong, he had a great rookie year. Here's the problem. You see the Raiders' win total increase? No, you did not. A tight end is, for all intents and purposes, if you want a good tight end, it feels like much more like a luxury piece. It is much more a luxury piece than saying getting a good tackle or a good pass rusher. Getting a tight end just doesn't, like... Tyler Warren, I think, I wouldn't doubt if he falls into, like, the 20s, just because... I don't see a reason why why you would spend that high pick on a tight end that just doesn't have enough impact. Unless you're taking George Kittle, as in the George Kittle right then, right there, right now. But you're not. So, Kelvin Banks is fine. Okay, I could see it. They're going to need help with Justin Fields in that rushing attack anyway, so I could see it. Who's 7th? Who's 8th? Jalen Walker, linebacker door. Why? Respectfully? I guess it is the worst defense in the league, and they don't really have... They traded away Brian Burns, so I guess they do need someone. Man, I'd still help Bryce Young. I mean, I guess in this case, if the top 3 tackles are off the board, then you should help out your worst defense, but I would want to get something for Bryce Young. Because Adam Thielen's what? Isn't he the oldest wide receiver in the league right now? 34? Gonna be 35? I like... who is the guy? Xavier Leggett? I like him. But is he ready to be wide receiver 1 in year 2? I don't think he was ever... Fine. Jalen Walker. Not a bad pick. I mean, Georgia linebacker, so it's not like you're going with a wrong player, but I would want a pass catcher here. Who's 9th? Do they have Shador going New Orleans? Is that the plan? Mason Graham, the defenseman. Oh my God. There's no great pick here for New Orleans because, you know, they're a dumpster fire. Oh, they're bad. Well, it's in their salary cap. They have what? They have salary cap issues. Their quarterback is either A, injured, B, can not get the ball into the end zone to save his life, or C, just making bad decisions. Like, I used to like Derek Carr. Derek Carr used to be like to me what Matt Ryan was. I love Matt Ryan forever. I will never take that away from him. Just because Matt Ryan... Like, I had once people... This was recent. This was like a couple years ago. Comparing Derek Carr to Matt Ryan. Never do that again. Just never. Never in my life. Never compare Derek Carr to Matt Ryan. One is way better than the other. Yeah, you're insane. You're insane. Even in 2016. In 2016, they're making those comparisons. That was like Derek Carr's peak. It was also Matt Ryan's peak, but Matt Ryan's peak was just better. And career was better. Like, come on. What are we doing? It's just... There's no good pick. Like, I guess best player available if you're getting Mason Graham, but... You're going... If you... Saints fans, I feel bad for you if you're going into next season with Derek Carr. Like, it's just going to be another... Like, I remember Saints went 2-0 and everyone was freaking out. You know what's crazy? Week 3, they almost beat Philly. They were close. I think, what, they had tied the game or taken the lead late? I don't remember. It was... wow. Poor Saints. 10. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. They don't need this. This is a bad... No, this is actually bad. I don't care. This is a... why? For who? For what? Another... You have Cole Kmet. I'm not saying Kmet's, like, going to be as good as, like, as a top 5, even arguably 10 tight end. For what? For who? Why? Why are you taking Tyler Warren with the 10th pick? Oh... No, what are we doing in Chicago? Courtney Cronin. Courtney, I love you. I love what you're trying to create here in Chicago. No. Don't work. It just doesn't. If there's a better guard on this list, I would have taken it. I would have. Also, wait a second. Okay, never mind. I just... Or you know what? Take Torrey McMillan. Take McMillan. Take another pass catcher. I understand Warren is also a pass catcher, but I feel like the tight end just doesn't work. I would have just rolled with Kmet, man. Or another lineman. Grab another offensive lineman. You can never have too many linemen. 11. Here's Mikael Williams. No, Georgia lineman, so assuming good. I haven't watched much college sports, in all fairness. I put my oath to that. But Michael Williams, okay. I take it back. I don't like this pick. Torrey McMillan on the board. What was his name? He's on here. I'm going to spoil. I'm sorry. I'm going to spoil it for myself. Okay, he goes 12. Again, Nick Wagner. My guy. Brandon Ayuk's coming off of an ACL. They just traded away Demo Samuel, and Ricky Pearsall is basically going to be the only pass catcher not named George Kittle. Dude, for the love of everything in my life, grab a receiver. Grab the receiver. Grab the pass catcher. Why? I'll tell you why. Because San Francisco has to pay Brock Purdy. Okay? That's just, they're going to. They're going to pay him some amount of money. No matter what that money is at this point, even if they've gotten it down to $50 million, even if they've gotten down to $45 million, it's an overpay. It is a gross overpay. So here, you need to take a receiver while you're not paying out the fortune for him. You just do. And you know what? Dallas, credit to them. They go out and they get an actual weapon. Why? Because the best receiver on the board, Nick Wagner, okay? That's who it is. So go get the Arizona guy. San Fran is not as strong as receiver as you guys think right now, okay? It's just true. I know you want to think Jawan, no. Just not. Just not enough. And you're not, be honest, you're not going to want to keep Brandon Ayuk around much longer anyway. Probably going to trade him. Why? Because he's coming off an ACL. Not a bad pick by Dallas. Actually, probably the best thing they would do all offseason if they made this pick. Because outside of CeeDee Lamb, they got nobody. Jalen Tolbert, no. Don't give me... There's no Jalen Tolbert. There's no nothing. Jalen Tolbert, not it. Ferguson, not fine, decent piece, but really as a number 2 pass catcher, still not enough. McMillan can be. That's where I'd go. Who goes 13? Jody Barron. Okay, makes sense. They're trying to shop Jalen Ramsey. It would make sense for them to draft a corner. And against Josh Allen, you're definitely going to want to be able to have a lot of tight coverage against these defensive backs because you know what? Actually, I'm starting to realize now. I think I know why Josh Allen threw less interceptions this year. Like, significantly less. Not just because he got better, because the rest of the division got way, way worse. Like, New England got worse. New York got worse. Miami got worse. Everybody got worse. That's why those interceptions were down. The rest of the AFC East was trash. Especially defensively. Like, it was nuts. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe Lamar really deserved it. Maybe he did. Johnny Brown, though, I don't hate. Or Brown. Barron. 14. What? No. Hold on. What? What are you talking about? Are you serious? Colston Loveland. Oh, get this off my screen. Oh my God, get this off my screen. 14th overall pick. Nah, you're crazy. No, brother. No, what is this? No, but what is this? Huh? Guys, all due respect, like it when NFL players succeed. I'm not saying I don't think Colston Loveland's going to be good. But pick 14 is not the time to be taking the second best tight end on the board. It's just not. They're adamant wanting to play with multiple tight ends. That's the reasoning? Here's the problem, okay? Then Indy's philosophy is just wrong. Okay? That's the truth. No. I don't get it. Who's on the Colts roster? Like right now? Well, actually, hold on. Checking in on Milwaukee. Yeah, Indy's up 12. Jeez, Alou. And they're getting into a fight. Oh my God. They're beefing. I like these Indy unis. They'll just like the powder blue on them. Not bad. It's better. Anyway, who is Colts depth chart? I gotta see this because there's no way you're serious about this. Drew Ogletree, Mo Alley Cox, Jelani Woods, Will Mallory. Not in that order. Okay, yeah. But that's not an excuse to take a tight end in round 1 when your main wide receivers are Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, and Josh Downs. Guys, really? That's the best pick? That's it. Like, you already... Like, I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to be a disaster class. Like, I don't think Indy's going to be good next year. I just don't. I don't think they'll be good. For many reasons. But mostly because their two quarterbacks are Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. But, folks, this is not good. This is a mess. Colston Loveland, if on Thursday night, if Stephen Holder gets this pick right, Stephen, if you get this pick right, nothing you know me, I'll Venmo you like $20. $20 if that's who they take. Because I think that's crazy. I think that is crazy to be trying to build a 2-3 tight end philosophy right now. And I get it. The run game is back. You don't need this. You do not need 2 or 3 tight ends to be doing this. Because part of what makes a good run game is your threat and ability to pass. Like, at this point now, we're in a league where you need to be able to pass the ball to run the ball. And then vice versa, right? You're able to run the ball to pass the ball. This is why Philly was really good. Because they had, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. You're scared of them, but you also got to be scared of Saquon. Nobody on the Colts fears anybody. Michael Pittman, nice guy. Really good, solid receiver. Not A.J. Brown, and frankly, not even Devontae Smith. So, what are we doing? What are we doing trying to draft Colston Loveland as our over-the-top threat? No. This is no. I think the main reason that this could work potentially is just because of the small checkdowns give Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones easier throws. But that's it. And that's a lot to ask for the second best tight end in this class. We'll see. I don't like it, though. Not a big fan. 15. Mike Green, defensive end out of Marshall University. Let's go. I mean, yeah. Atlanta needs a defender. They need any pass rusher. That's it. It's not... Listen, I'm not here to judge the quality of the player. I'm here to judge if it makes sense. If it makes sense for Mike Green, who's a pass rusher, to be on Atlanta, who's one of the worst sacking units of my lifetime, then yeah. Who was the last double-digit sack artist? Was it Vic Beasley or Adrian Claiborne? Because I know Adrian Claiborne had like one game where he had like 5 sacks because I think Tyron Smith was out, and they started a turnstile at left tackle just to see if it would work. It did not. All right, I'm rolling down the list. 16. Tyler Booker. I do like the last name Booker. We know that. Guard out of Alabama. That's not like, again, that's like a logical pick to me. Why are we taking the number 2 tight end? Why in the world also is my headset already about to die? That's crazy. Because now it's just dead. Look at that. And now it's alive again. See? We fixed it. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we fixed it. We know how it goes. But it's like, what are we doing? I'm going to play a little bit of this in the background. Just a bit for fun. See what happens.
Guarded by Siakam.
What the heck?
Drives, gets the bucket, and the opportunity for one more.
And that's a great move by Bobby. No wasted motion, quick swipe through, and got right down to business.
First foul on Siakam.
I'll tell you right now,
swipe through, goes right through Siakam's chest. Siakam with the light push right there. Bobby and one.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis still working his way back.
He
missed 25 games after being suspended for violating
they're
the
gonna drop
league's
40 in the
anti-drug
quarter.
policy. This is
And
his
he
fifth
missed the
game back.
win one, bro.
Tipped around. Comes out to Toppin. Who's going to run with it?
Obi Toppin.
Behind his back to McConnell.
And McConnell. And they dropped 40 and 40. What did I tell you, man?
McConnell slowed it down.
Milwaukee's
Everybody in the
full
Bucks uniform
of
thought he was going to pull
trash.
it back out, and he went right down the lane.
Just is. This is full of dookie. Anyway, back to this. Booker makes sense. I'm going to speed through these a little bit. Ben Baby. Okay, first of all, this picks me by Ben Baby. Donovan Ezeruaku. Ezeruaku. I tried. Boston College. I mean, any help on defense for Cincinnati, basically. Especially because, I mean, what? They want to... There's rumors that Trey Hendrickson gets moved. I don't think it happens, but there are rumors. There's thoughts. People are having thoughts and conversation about it. Seattle at 18 takes Gray Zabel. A guard. You got to protect Sam. I think, speaking of Seattle, what was the plan again? Like, we're going to move off. I understand moving off Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett's like 10 years in. I get it. But moving off DK, and then the decision is to, what? Bring in Sam Darnold to throw to who? The downgrade of quality of skill position Sam Darnold's going to have in Seattle is enormous. It's enormous. I like Jackson Smith and Jigba, but he's no Justin Jefferson. And I love Jake Boba. But he's not Jordan Addison either. Like, you can't... And I like Kenneth Walker, but I think I'd arguably take Aaron Jones. Like, there is no... Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe just because I have, nostalgia for Aaron Jones, even though he was, drafted in 2019, so he's not, that old. But I don't see... No, 2017. Not 2019, 2017. My apologies. 2019 was, when he was, big years and was breaking out. But I don't see how this works for Sam. I don't see how it ends well for Sam in Seattle based on what they've done. 19th pick, Tampa. Who you taking? Will Johnson. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. I mean, what? They lost Carlton Davis, the previous offseason. Not this offseason. Previous. Went to Detroit. Your defense isn't incredible. Will Johnson. I don't hate it. Solid cornerback pickup. 20. The Denver Broncos. Luther Burden. That's actually a very good pick at 20. I think getting a receiver there for Bo Nix is huge. Because I like Cortland Sutton, but I gotta be honest. Could you imagine if the Denver Broncos had kept Jerry Jeudy? Just think about that right now. Think about how much better their wide receiver core would be. Now, maybe Jeudy needed to go to Cleveland to be able to burst onto the scene as a wide receiver, but could you imagine if they had kept Jerry Jeudy? Found a way. Almost coulda. Coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't, And I wouldn't doubt it if they trade for a wide receiver, mid-season. If they're kind of a middling team, but they have a really strong defense, they might get a wide receiver just to help Bo Nix. It's not out there. Finally, we get to the Steelers. Now, my guess is this is a quarterback. The fact that Shedeur Sanders has not been taken. Yeah, okay. So Shedeur. Yeah, obviously Aaron Rodgers is not going to make a decision. We know this. We know this to be true. He's not going to sign with Pittsburgh until after the draft. He's not going to sign with anybody until after the draft. We don't know. If Sanders falls to 21, because here's the thing. Of most drafts, most of the time, the player that I want us to take, not that I'm saying that was the best player, but the player I want to take is there. I wanted Watt. When we started getting in the 20s and Watt hadn't been taken, I was like, oh, please give me Watt. And then the Cowboys were on the clock. They took Taco. I was so happy, and then we got Watt, right? 2018, I wasn't really sure who we wanted. Who did I want in 2016? I don't remember. I don't remember who I wanted in 2018. I don't remember if I wanted anybody. Was it Coop? I remember wanting Cooper. This past draft, I wanted DeJean. We didn't take him. We took Fatuanu. I thought we would have traded back into the first round to try to get DeJean. We didn't. That made me upset. I know in 2021 I wanted Najee. 2022, I guess I wanted Pickett, but it didn't. There wasn't really another pick to take, right? In 2023, I don't think I wanted Broderick Jones. I gotta remember. I think it was expected to take a tackle. I just didn't think it'd be Broderick. I think it was one of the ones I was taking before. If I get Shedeur Sanders, I might freak out because I think he's actually going to be the best quarterback of this class. I think he'll be better than Jackson Dart. I think Jalen Milroe might be a third. I think Cam Ward's going to be... obviously Cam Ward's the obvious pick to say, but it's what it is, All right, let me check the score. Oh, nope, it's in an ad. Never mind, not checking the score. All right, good pick. If we get Shedeur Sanders, if once he passes New Orleans... Because, I'm looking at the board. Let's say, hypothetically, no trades happen. No trades. Because if he gets by New Orleans, it's not going to be Chicago. It's not. San Francisco's not taking a quarterback. Neither is. I don't think Dallas will take a quarterback, considering that they just traded for Joe Milton and they have Dak. 13 Miami, not taking a QB. Colts could be scary, but I still think they're committed to Anthony Richardson. Atlanta, Michael Penix, right? Arizona, Kyler Murray. Bengals, literally laughable. Seattle just signed Sam. Tampa, Baker. And then Denver with Bo. If Shedeur falls by New Orleans, The only thing we'd have to worry about at that point is someone trading up, which is very possible. Because, and then even then, looking to like the top 3, like Cleveland, New York, and that's it. Like, I don't even think the Raiders would take a quarterback at this point. They might, but I think it'd be a colossal waste of time to do it. I think they'd wait till next year. And then once, if it gets by New Orleans, if Shador somehow slides, it's not impossible. It's so possible. It is so... The potential is seething. It's skyrocketing for massive potential. I'm just saying. Come on. Come on. Let's speed run through the rest of this, and then I think that'll call it. Jeez, I've been left for an hour 20. I told you, man, I can yap. I told you I could yap. I told you what I could do. 22. Derek Harmon. No idea, actually. Never heard of this man. Love you, Derek. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M. I'm trying to think if D-tackle makes sense for the Chargers. I mean, kind of. I still think... I like Ladd, but you still need more wide receivers. You know what they really need? They need Justin Herbert to just play better. I know people call him the if quarterback. It's not even a question of if. It's just a question of is that all he has? Like, is that all he has in the tank? He's just a really good... Like he's like so. Like you see why people call him social media quarterback. He's exposed this past year. Exposed in the playoffs. Wasn't him. Wasn't the guy. Dude got overrun, and it's crazy to me that they got overrun despite having guys like Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt at the tackle spots. It's bizarre. It's strange. It makes no sense. Shamar Stewart, Nick Amanwari. Safety, South Carolina. They do need an eventual replacement for Harrison Smith. How old is he? 2012. I mean, I know he's in mid-30s, but drafted in 2012. So what? This is gonna be year 13, 14? Because I mean, yeah, 2012, but 2021 is technically his 10th. So 2022 is 11, 2023 is 12. I mean, yeah, 14th. Wow, 14th season for Harrison Smith this year. One thing I do wish that he is a guaranteed Hall of Famer. I don't think he is. But he's one of my favorite players. One of my favorite safeties. Because he just hits. They call him Harry Hitman. Alright, 25. Ike Egbuka. The Ohio State wide receiver. When is he going to go? Because I'm going to be honest with you. That seems low. I mean, I get it. Minnesota doesn't need him. You going to tell me Green Bay wouldn't take a wide receiver round 1? Really? Like, now that I look at that, I'm like, yeah, they could use Shamar Stewart, but, like, this seems more like a Green Bay could use this guy. Come on. Green Bay don't got a receiver. Green Bay doesn't. Jaden Reed, fake wide receiver 1. Just a fake wide receiver 1. Not a legitimate one. Not a legitimate wide receiver 1. Matthew Golden. What? I've not heard this man. I have not heard this man going to first round talks. This is the problem when I get to the back half of the first round. Is that some people in mocks, there's like, love this kid. Meanwhile, he's like top of the third, more likely. Because what you understand about the NFL is that once you get past like the top 15 players, literally anybody could be drafted after that. Tim Tebow went round 1. You can talk about Tebow Manning all you want. Dude was not a good quarterback. Just wasn't. I don't care that he made the throw. I don't care that he made the throw again to Demaryius Thomas in overtime and won a playoff game. Bro was not good. Do you know how I know he wasn't good? Because he got traded the next season and played tight end for the Jets. And then tried to play tight end for Jacksonville. Bro was bad. Bro was not him. Man of God, though, but just not him. Rams could draft a receiver. Do I see it? Yeah, they're going to need their next Cooper Kupp. Could be Matthew Golden. You just never know. Malachi Starks. Why another... Why? Of all the positions, really? I mean, Malachi, yeah, you just get another starter at safety. So what? You're gonna pair him with Kyle Hamilton, and they're just gonna be goated together? Okay, yeah, sure, bud. Yeah, do that. Meanwhile, the Ravens still have DeAndre Hopkins as what? A dishwasher? A washed dish, cleanest dish, no specks, no grime, no dirt, no nothing. That's what he's doing right there. That's what he's doing. And he looks great. No, he looks great. Why? Like, I get it. The Ravens are good at, like, picking these kind of players. But there's a reason why they don't produce enough on offense from the receiver position. It's because they don't take them when they're available. They took Zay. They took Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman, first year double-digit touchdowns. And Zay Flowers had a Pro Bowl year, which, by the way, he shouldn't have. We all know it should have been Brian Thomas. But, boy. You really think another safety? I'm sure. Lions, James Pierce Jr. You're going to need help, yep. It's not a bad pick. You don't know when Aiden Hutchinson's going to get back. I doubt he's going to be ready week 1, honestly. He might, but that was a gruesome leg injury. That's very difficult to assume that he's just going to be back week 1. I don't see it happening. Maxwell Hairston, corner of Kentucky. You know what was interesting? They traded for Marshawn Lattimore, and I said, dang, that was a good pickup. And then I watched Marshawn Lattimore exist this season for the Commanders. I think bro's washed. I mean, yeah, he played, like, I think, what was it? They played Tampa, and he was supposed to be guarding Mike Evans. Mike Evans has to jump on him, man. They used to have, like, the beef. Beef's gone. Beef's gone. One guy's clearly better than the other. Buffalo Bills take Kenneth Grant. Makes logical sense, I guess. It's not the worst thing in the world. I could see it. Wait, hold on. Defensive tackle Michigan. Was there another defensive tackle on here from Michigan, or was it a defensive end? Dang, yeah, Mason Graham. They were like that at D-tackle this year? They were that stacked? All right. I believe it. I mean, that's crazy to have 2 D-tackles go in the first round. I mean, to have multiple players from your school go in the first round generally is a pretty big accomplishment, unless you're like Alabama or, unless you're like one of the bigger schools, which, like Ohio State or, Georgia, it's like expected. But to have 2 people at the same position? How about that? All right, who does KC take? Josh Simmons. Yeah, they're going to need lineman help. You know what I don't get? I've seen it. And it's maybe because I watch a lot of Colin Cowherd. I don't understand the logic in that KC just misses the playoffs this year. You got people, like, calling their shot. Kansas City's going to miss the playoffs. Guys, you look like buffoons. They're going to have Rashee Rice back. I'm not a Chiefs fan. Like, I don't like him. But they're going to have Rashee Rice back. Isaiah Pacheco missed half the year. They're going to have pieces back. They still have a whole draft. And they still have one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. And he had a down year last year. And they won 15 games. Like, guys, let's relax. Let's cool it for a second. I think they're going to be fine. And the Philadelphia Eagles, Walter Nolan, defense tackle, Ole Miss. Another... Hold on, wait, who just left? Milton Williams went to New England, right? So now it's what? Him, Jalen Carter. Gosh, man. Philly's very good at drafting. I'll give them that. They do know how to draft. That being said, brother. Again, another defensive tackle? Y'all are nuts. Y'all are crazy with this. You're going to add it to, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. You're going to add a 3rd defensive tackle. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. Who am I thinking of? Oh, God. Jeff Lurie's the owner. Who was the GM? Why do I not know the GM's name? I'm like drawing a blank. Why do I not know the GM's name? Howie Roseman. That's who it was. Why do I think for some reason I thought Howie was like the what's his face? The owner for a second. I get him confused. It's like him and Jeff Lurie, right? I'm not crazy. I'm not freaking out about that. Anyway. That's nuts, though. They really think they'd take a defensive tackle at 24th pick. That's crazy, dude. That's wild. It's 24, huh? How, though? You gonna really have them beef up their D-line again? My gosh, Philly's obnoxious. They just are. I'm gonna say it. Philadelphia Eagles are obnoxious. I know they just won the Super Bowl. I don't care. Have and always will be. Doesn't come close. Not the most obnoxious right now, but still, generally speaking, nah. Not a fan. I still don't understand how either. Alright, well, did they do it round 2 or is this just 1 round? What is all this extra text? Okay. Alright. Well, that's how that goes. Oh, alright. What's the score right now, actually? Let me double check. Checking score. Why is it every time I have to check the score, it's in an ad? I'm just going to type it up. Yeah, 50-36. Yeah, no duh. Bad. Bad Milwaukee. Be a decent basketball team. For even like 10 minutes. You could try. I'd love to see you try. Because seriously, giving up 40 points in one quarter, in the first quarter, to Tyrese Halliburton, who, by the way, the other thing, just got marked as, what, the most overrated player? What were the numbers on that? 15% of the league said, yeah, Tyrese, most overrated. Meanwhile, he's about to sweep the Bucks. I don't even know who I'd pick as the most overrated player off the top of my head. It's mostly just to be annoying, because Taff's a Knicks fan. But I'd probably say, like, Jalen Brunson. Just to annoy him. It might be... That's how it is, though. Oh, shoot. What the heck? Oh, do I have streamer mode off? Oh, I don't. I just heard that. Dang it. Oh, well. There were other stats. Oh, hold on. I'm going to pull these up. Because I saw them recently. And I want to see what the status is on that. Saved. Saved. All posts. Because he was the most overrated, right? Yeah, voted most overrated. Most underrated voted was Cade at 8.8%. Is he really that underrated? I don't know. I guess because he just plays in Detroit, and they're not giving like everybody. I don't know where they're sending the credit though to the 30-win turnaround. I guess to JB for turning it around, but I don't know how you don't credit Cade there either. Then MVP at 56.1% voting Shea, 37.4% were for Jokic. You still got 1.3% voting LeBron, because you know, he's my king, LeBron. So SGA faced the league in 5 years. Wemby over Ant. Really though? Is he really gonna be the face of the league? I don't think anybody's gonna be the face of the league. You know who's gonna be face of the league in 5 years? LeBron at 45 years old. That's my guess. If LeBron plays till he's 45, he'll stay the face of the league. 25 NBA champion. Again, like these guys can't vote for your own team. Most people had Celtics at 57.7%, then OKC 17.5% of the vote, Cavs with 10.2% of the vote, Lakers 6.6%, and then Nuggets at 4.4% of the vote. Yeah, Boston's built a little different. Just a tad. Best coach. How do you say his last name for OKC? Mark Daigneault. Mark Daigneault. I never hear it. I don't know why. Watch Thunder broadcast, but mostly watch like broadcast muted, so I never actually find out how you pronounce stuff. Worst coach, Brian Keefe. To be honest, it should have been Budenholzer. Budenholzer got 17.8, but no. As a Suns fan, that's the worst. You know who else you can put on there? Vogel. Even though he's not coaching this year, but also put him on there. Put him joint package. They might as well get married. Best organization, Golden State at 21.9. That makes sense. I'm surprised OKC beat out Boston though. Like, how do you have Boston being the world champs, but yet you still think that OKC is the better organization? It just, weird. I know that's the same question, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Worst organization, Hornets at 38.1. Wizards 20.4% of the vote, and then Pelicans got 11.5% of the vote. Surprised Phoenix wouldn't be on here after the season that they had, but I thought it's a little shocking. And the most overrated player, they had Tyrese. 14.4% of NBA players think Tyrese Halliburton is the most overrated player. Like, why is that the first one? Is it really? I think it's because he plays in Indiana. I think it's a stigma. I think it's a stigma to the Pacers. I think just playing on the Pacers just... you'd think that would underrate you, but for some reason it's just... It's probably because they beat the Knicks. I feel like it's all the Knicks players. I think it was all the Knicks players and then all the Celtics players who beat them. I think that's who voted there. That's crazy. Rudy Gobert's the second at 10%, and then Trae Young is third at 8.9%. Huh. I thought Trae would have been one. I thought of all the players there, Trae would have been one, but I guess I'm wrong in that regard. Huh. Well, you know what they say, the more you know, you know? But that was kind of crazy to have the most of them there. Interesting. Oh my gosh, what time is it? Is it 8 o'clock? Oh my gosh, it is 8:01. It is 8:01 right now. Well, that's mostly what... Oh, you know what? I mostly talked basketball. I mostly talked football today. While Taff was out, hopefully Taff can get done with the schoolwork, so I don't have to pull another yap session, because I will not have enough in me for another hour and a half next week. But two things. One, I'm thinking I might do a reaction to the NFL draft on Thursday, so that'll be fun-ish. Hoping that Shedeur Sanders falls to Pittsburgh. I hope we don't draft Jackson Dart. If we do, I'm going to freak out. And in terms of other things, one more thing. If anybody's in here and is considering going on Netflix to watch a movie, do not pick, what was it called? Oh God, it was such a bad movie. I don't even remember the name of it. It was terrible. Hold on. I have to look this up. It's like something. Netflix movie about iPhone, I guess, terrorist? I don't know. That's what it was called. Hostage. That's what it is. Oh, shoot. You guys don't see. Hold on. I screwed this up. No. What did I do wrong? Oh, dear God. I messed it all up, guys. Alright, whatever. I'm going to go here. Yeah, Hostage is what it's called. I'm just going to type it in. It was bad. It was a bad movie. Never watch it. It was some sort of, like, Holland Dutch film. It was bad. Dialogue was bad. The transitions it was a bad movie. Don't watch it. Don't watch this movie. I mean, you can. You'd just be wasting about an hour and 45 minutes of your life. I only wasted about an hour because I did not want to know this thing was going to end. It's not good. They tried. They tried. But it was just actively uninteresting. Also, if you're in here, drop a like. Drop a like. Tell me you like the stream. Tell me what else I should do. Tell me what else, other sports stuff. But this was a bad movie. I did not enjoy this thing. This thing was terrible. Honestly, I'd rather watch Minecraft movie over this movie. Because at least Minecraft movie, like, you get to wait for, like, Chicken Jockey. Like, something good is coming. This, nothing good ever came. It was bad. It should feel bad. Like, it's just, not good. It tried. It tried and failed. It was also based off a true story, which normally, like, when something's based off a true story, it's supposed to be good. It wasn't. It was terrible. Like, watch any other movie. Watch a good movie. Watch a movie that you know is good. Like, I don't know. Watch, like, The Lord of the Rings. Watch that. Have a good time, Anyway. I think it's 8:00. My computer says 8:02. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 8:04. So, yeah, 8:04. This has been episode number 24 of Primetime with Taff and Phil. In this case, just Primetime with Phil. I hope you guys continue enjoying the NBA playoffs. We'll be talking about it hopefully next Tuesday. I'll probably talk about it Thursday if I end up doing the stream for the NFL draft and like my live reaction. Hopefully Taff will be back with us next week. I'm crossing my fingers that he'll be able to come back in. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a blessed rest of your night. I hope you all have a blessed rest of the week. And I don't know. Let's throw in an inspirational quote that I'm going to look up right now. Let me throw in some inspirational quote. Or maybe I'll even ask, I wonder what kind of inspirational quote. Here we go. The only way to do great work is love what you do. So continue loving what you do. That was Steve Jobs, apparently. I don't even know if that's true. I saw it in like Google AI. Was the first one I picked. If it is true, that's very impressive. I would be proud if it was. Might not be. Is it? Let's find out. Let's click. I don't know. I don't want to find out. Indiana smoking Milwaukee. I'm going to keep watching that. But thank you guys for tuning in. As it was, I'm going to go eat some ice cream. Crack open a drink. Watch the rest of the... I'll probably actually watch this game until it gets to like 25-point lead, which the most overrated player in the NFL, Tyrese Halliburton, will just bring it to. Thank you guys for watching. If you like, drop a like, subscribe. We stream every Tuesday, usually. We're hoping to. You know, we get around to it every Tuesday. And have a wonderful, blessed day of the evening. And day tomorrow.